we're going to be doing today as part of our live stream on YouTube. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a little of Linux command, that is navigating the shell, and then we'll dive a little into the use of JIT and GitHub, that's the version control system. So without much ado, I'll leave the remaining to my dear brother David Alanyo to continue. He has a username over here as the AlphaTech GH. So, David, at this point, I leave this to you for you to continue. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Sechi Ama. Okay, so today most of us are ALS students, and I'm using this opportunity to explain some simple and easy shell navigation with you. So I'll be projecting my screen to go through some series of command, how to create a directory that is in Linux command, and also how to create a file. So mostly I'll be giving a short brief on why are we using, people say it's a black screen. Why are we using the black screen, not the graphical user interface? Okay, so without wasting my time, I'll be presenting the screen so that most of us will see what I'm trying to talk about. And also, as ALS students, we have been given a series of tasks to perform. So I'll be using this particular platform to explain most of the commands that will be used in the projects. So without wasting my time, let me dive into the main tutorial for the day. Okay, so here I have this is a sandbox, but I'll be using the sandbox and also our terminal. So first of all, let me launch the terminal. So before I start, I'll be giving a brief on the command line interface and the graphical user interface. So the command line interface, that's the CLI, this black screen is the command line interface. Everything that is on the graphical user interface is represented the same way here in our command line interface. So let's say if I want to create a folder or a directory on my graphical user interface, I'll right click and then create a folder. So I can name this folder whatever name that I want. In the same way, we can use this black screen to create the same folder, file, and many more. So today I'll be using most the black screen to do most of my tasks, simply because as ALS students we are not supposed to use the front, the graphical user interface, but rather we are supposed to use the command line interface. Okay, so I have some series of git commands here which I'll be touching on. So before that, let me come to some of the importance of the command line interface. So with the command line interface, we can see that we don't use mouse and keyboard. We only use the keyboard to do most of our commands. But with graphical user interface, you can use mouse, keyboard, everything to do our commands. And also with the command line interface, it's very fast to create, let's say, when we are creating a directory in the command line interface, it's faster than you creating a folder or a file using the graphical user interface. Why am I saying this? We can create 5 folders at a go using the command line interface, but with the graphical user interface, we only have a chance, just one at a time, to create a folder or a file. So now, let me dive into the command line interface and explain small about navigation, the shell navigation. Then, as ALS students, we have a tough Git project. I'll be touching on it, how to create, how to clone the repo, how to do all those stuff. So let's start. So with the command line, the Linux command line, so we have the ls. These are the commands and its explanation. So we have ls here, which is what? The directory listing. So in this set, as I'm explaining, I'll be doing a practical session so that you know the command that we are typing. Okay. So first of all, we said ls. So with the ls, it will list all the directories that I have here, directories, files, everything. So when I do ls a-al, that one will format it with all hidden files. And also in Linux, we use 3 commands. That's the basic command. We use the cd, we use the pwd, and we use the ls. These are the basic commands. So take note. So let's start with the cd. So let's say I'm in a folder or I'm in a directory where I'm supposed to go to another directory. I'll use the cd command to move or to change the directory. So let's see. This is an app that's I'm working on. So it's app, Bolt app. So if I want to go to the Bolt app, first of all, I have to know which directory I am. I have to know which directory that I am working in. So let me zoom in small. I have to know which directory. So as you all can see, I'm in the desktop directory. How did I know that? When I type pwd, parent working directory, you can see that the last side. So when you want to know the directory that you are working in, you have to make sure the last name supposed to be, if a cat is have a slash and the name, it means you are in a directory. Okay, so you can't be in a file that will show like this. So now, if I want to show the content, I will use the ls to show the content of what? My content on the desktop. So now, let me come here. You can see that on the desktop, I have, let's see, on the desktop, I have this kind of files. So let me do ls again. I have Bolt app. So let me look for the Bolt app here. Here is it. I have Figma lesson. Figma lesson. All the folders here are on what? This place. So now, let me try to go to this directory. Before that, I have to create a directory. What are the commands used to create directory? We use MADIR, meaning make directory. So let's say we are creating a folder. So we are creating a folder. If I want to create this folder, I will right click and give it a name. So when I make the mkdir, I have to bring a space and the name of the folder or the directory that I want to create. So let's say first YouTube, first underscore YouTube. And the moment you bring a space, meaning you are creating another folder. Previously, I explained that with Git, you can create thousands of folders once with just a key strike. So now let's look on the desktop. You can see this folder. So first YouTube. So when I press enter, you can see that I have the directory here. First YouTube. So let me bring it here. And another thing is I want to rename. So let's say I forgot to bring something, but I want to rename this folder. I'll use rm. So I'll use the move. So people said you can use it to move and you can use it to rename, but we have a difference on it. Okay. So when I type mvin, I have to type the previous name. So it's f first underscore YouTube. So I want to add s to it, YouTube's. Okay. So first underscore YouTube's. Okay. So the moment, let's look at this side. The moment I press enter, the name changes. It's different from me pushing a file inside. So with pushing of a file, when I want to add a file to the directory I just created, I'll use the same env, then the file name. So let's say first name, first underscore YouTube. Then I'll use a slash. A slash is telling me that I want to move this YouTube directory and place it where? In a directory that I want to, you want to push it to, or you want to move. Okay, so now let's go inside this directory. So we'll use the cd, then the name of the directory. So I press enter. Let me clear my screen. So I press enter. I'm in this folder or this directory, the YouTube's directory. So now, how do we create a file in the Linux command? So these are the basic commands that we'll be using in our project on the Git page and stuff. So now, let me type touch. So the touch, what the touch does is used to create a file. Okay, the touch is used to create a file. So now, let me give it a name. So let me name it 1. When I press enter, let's check here. Let's check the number of items in it. So when I press enter, you all can see there's 1 here. So let me see the content of the file. So you can see 1 in it. We have 1 in it. Okay, so 1 is what? A file. How will you know if this is a file? So let's see. So now, with this one, we can see that we have only 1 file in it. So let me clear the screen and make it clear. So now, let me open this folder and see if we have the file that I just created. So now, when I was starting, I said with Linux, the command line interface is very fast. It's very fast. So now I want to create 5 folders at a go. So I will use the touch. I'll use the touch. Then the first name of, so we have 2. So 2. We have 3. We have 4. We have 5. We have 6. So with this one, I press enter. You can all see that within just a key strike, I've gotten 5 folders. So someone will ask, how do I delete these files? Maybe I made a mistake. I'm not supposed to create it there and stuff. So now we have a command called rm to remove this file. So you give it a name. So let's say 1. When I press enter, you can see 1 is gone. The same thing. I press 3. You can see 3 is gone. The same thing. 4. You can see 4 is gone. The same thing. 5. You can see 5 is gone. The same thing. 6. Okay, so let me leave the last one. So now, let me try to rename the 2 to a different thing. So I'll have to use the mv command to rename. Okay, so mv, then the current name was 2. Then the name that I want to set is what? Let's play .doxcx. This is what? A word format. This is what? A word format. So the moment I press enter, you can see that the file just changed to a word format. And in some of our projects, we will be asked to create a readme file. So readme.md. This is how you create it. Touch.this. So now, let's say they've asked us to create a file and we are supposed to do what? We are supposed to write something in it. They've given us a code that we should write something in this readme file. Okay, so now how should we do it? So we have to make sure we type what? Echo. Okay, we use the echo to insert into, or you can use the less to what? To open the content of the file that you are creating. Okay, so now it's a code. So let's say it's a string. So I want to type something. Let's say hello world. So that's the basic language that we have been saying, hello world. Yeah. And this same echo will mean different thing in PHP. Okay. So to print out, that's in PHP. So now let's go. Hello world. This is our first hello world. Then I close it. So I do what? Enter. So the moment I print this, you can see there is a line here, hello world, telling me it's hello world, right? But I want to keep it here. I want to keep it here. So now, let me add the details so that so now let me push that particular thing to this thing, to the readme file, the hello world to the readme. So I'll type echo, then the codes, read hello world. I'll use the hello world. Hello world. So now let's continue. So hello world. I have to what? Point it to where I want to what? Save it. So let's say I'll save it in readme.md. Okay, so you all can see that nothing happened, but the hello world just entered it. So how do I check if I'm sure that the hello world is in this particular thing? So now I have to use the cat. The cat is used to what? To show a little description. So now you all can see cat. Then you point to the name of the file. I hope we all can see. So we have file. What places what the standard input the file. So more is what the output of the content. Then head means what? The first 10 lines. Then till the last 10 lines. So another one is what? Touch. The touch, we have already used it. Touch. Then you create a file. RM means what? To delete. And we have two ways of deletion. Okay. We have a directory and a file. There are two different things that we want to delete. Okay. So let me continue. Let me check if there is something in the cat, the readme. So readme. So you can see that so we cannot see that we have another file open here. So now let me go back and what cd in to my desktop. Okay. So then I'll cd in to YouTube. It's first, then ls. So we have these two files. Okay. So now in here, let's talk about how to delete. So first of all, we'll use the rm, then the file name. So let's say let's play dot, it's gone. But how do I delete a directory? So let me make a directory. So mk dir, then the name of the directory. So delete. Okay. So now I want to delete these two files. Okay. So I'll use the rm. When you want to delete a file, you use rm, then the name of the file. So readme. It's gone. So can I use the same rm for folder to delete a folder? No, let's try it. So you can see rm delete is a directory. It's trying to tell us that this is a directory, not a file. So I have to go further step to what? To be able to delete the file. Okay. So I will bring -r here before I delete. Okay. So I'll be pausing here for about 4 minutes. Then we'll go to Git. We'll go in the Git and we learn something small about how to clone something from the your GitHub repository. I think that's the task that we are about to do. So if you have any question, you can send the question into the chat session, and I'll be able to answer each and everyone's question. So let me pause for 2 minutes and read the questions that each and everyone has. So we are waiting for the questions. So let's wait small for the questions so that we dive into the GitHub repository. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share our channel so that we can do this kind of tutorial. So let's share this channel so that we can do a lot. So my co-host will be reading the comments, and the next task is navigating through your GitHub repository. I'll be explaining how the projects there, we have two projects there. The project, I'll be explaining how to tackle each and every one. So don't forget to try to share your channel and stay tuned. So I'll be waiting for the questions. So you can type the questions in the chat session. My co-host will join very soon and read all the questions for you. Thank you. So let's give me 5 minutes break and I'll be answering all the questions. So don't worry, I'll be coming back for all the questions that you are putting on the chat session. Don't forget to share this link to any ALS student so that he or she can get access to how he can do his projects with. Thank you. And also we have a YouTube, we have a Telegram channel where most of our resources for this ALS course will be posted. So my co-host will be joining and will be posting the link to our Telegram channel. Thank you. Okay, so we are back, and I have two questions here. One is asking for the resources. We have a Telegram channel where most of the resources are kept there. So we will be dropping the channel so that you can join and so that you can join the channel. So another question is, how do you create? Let me answer the first question again. He said he's asking of the resources. So the resources, we have most of the resources, every tax and its resources at the Telegram page. We'll be dropping it very soon. And another thing is, how do you delete multiple files? Okay, so that's a very cool question. So let's say we can create multiple files. This same procedure is what we use to delete the files or directory. You give it a name, you give a space, so it will start with what? RM, meaning you are deleting. Okay, then the current name, the name that you want to delete, the directory name, or maybe a file. So yours was a file. So the same process that you use to create multiple directories and multiple files, that's the same way you can use to delete. So I'll be doing that in maybe about 3 minutes time. So let the questions flow. Okay, so now that we are back, let's dive into the Git. Okay, so these are the files that you get from the Git. So you have to make sure you get this file. Okay, so this link, don't forget to keep this link. Okay, so you copy and you keep it at a safe place. Okay, and also you have to get your file, the access token, that you can access it. So now let me come here. So before you can clone this GitHub repository, you have to make sure you do certain things. Okay, so before that you have to type git clone. Okay, so clone, then this URL, okay. So now you can see that I have successfully cloned my YouTube 1 channel, okay, on my Git page. So now let's see. So let me type ls and check if it's there or it's not. So you all can see we have it here. So let me zoom in small. We all can see we have this particular thing here, the clone repository from the GitHub. And people have been confusing this token with the one that was given. So maybe if that one is not working, you can copy this and then you clone it. You type git clone, then you give the URL. Okay, so the other one was requesting for your username, your token key here. The other one was requesting for the token and the name here. You can use this to clone your repo. You can use this to claim your repo. Okay, so now let me check if there's something there. So now when I hit enter again, they will say that what this path already exists, so I have already created it. Okay, so now let me cd in into what YouTube is YouTube. So you cannot see I'm in my YouTube clone repository. Okay, so they were asked to do some files. So the touch command that I explained earlier, you have to use the same command to work on your gates, your everything. So touch, then let me create the readme file. So let me readme 1.m so .ad, okay, so .jd. So when I press enter, you can see that I have created this repository inside this. So now let me do ls and see if it's true. Okay, so you can see that I have this particular repo here. Okay, so now I will be pausing the Git tutorials here and take most of the questions that you guys have, so that in our next tutorial we will talk mostly on what the Git. So now let me delete this YouTube Git from my sandbox. Okay, so I'll do what rm-r, then I'll type YouTube. Okay, YouTube 1, so YouTube 1. So the moment I press this, you can see that the name that was given was wrong. So kindly check that. So let me do YouTube. Let me do again. So R, then the same name YouTube 1. So when I press enter, I'm supposed to clear. So why am I getting this error? People, why am I getting this error? Simply because there is no path that way. So first of all, you have to check PWD. That's why these basic commands need. So now I'm in my YouTube. How I'm in my YouTube, I'm trying to delete. This is impossible. So let me go back, CD dot dot. So if you want to go back, use the CD dot dot. So now let me delete. You can see the deletion will work. So YouTube, when I press enter, you can see. So let me check ls. So you can see there is no YouTube 1 here. Okay, so now let me pause for now and ask for questions from you guys. Okay, so I can see a question that someone is asking for access token. Okay, so with the access token, you go to where I went. Actually, with access token, is kind of security reasons. That's why I don't want to go there. Okay, so this is a YouTube, this is online session. So you can DM me and I will send you the access token. Or when you join our Telegram channel, I can help you with the creation of the access token. So now I'll be dropping the Telegram group in the chat session, so you can join. And after this video, I'll be adding it to the video description. So we should all okay, so let my co-hosts sum up with this, and tomorrow we will be meeting again for another session. So now let me invite Anne to give us a brief of
it's hot.
Okay, so Samuel. Okay, so Samuel, you can talk. You can explain some of the questions that my people are having to us.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think there are some few questions here, and then most of them I think you've touched on already. The one who is asking for you to show your token.
Okay, so with the token, as I said earlier, I can share my token here. When
someone carry on.
Okay, so with the token, I can share it simply because when I share my token here, somebody can access my token and mostly delete most of my GitHub repository files. So we don't share tokens, but if you want me to show you how to access your token, that one I can assist you. So, Samuel, you can carry on.
Play it again and then watch and then get every understanding. After you watch and then you're confused or you're stuck at the point, you can join the Telegram discussion channel and then put your question there. We are always ready to give you every solution you need. And then yeah, I think that's it about that. So okay. He wanted a way to get the access token, not asking for yours. So David.
Oh, okay, so don't worry. Let me show them how to access your token. I hope so. Now let me share my screen again and show you how to access your token. Okay, so okay, so now I'm on my access token. So now let me show you how to access your token. So you come to your settings, and inside your settings you have to go down to here, developer settings. Okay, so when I click on developer settings, you see here new GitHub app. This one is when you are connecting to an app, but here I'll come here, personal access token. So when I click on it, we have to come here, the token, the classic one. You have to pick this. So when I click on this, so from there I have to generate a new token here. So when I click on it, it will ask me again. So generate token. So I have to enter my password. So when I enter it, and the token is one time. When you see it, you have to make sure you copy because they will be asking you whilst working on the command line. So let it confirm. So let me enter my password again. Okay, so now you can see that I have a new token here. Okay, so now I have to give a note. Let's say ALS book. Okay, then I'll come here. This means 30 days. After 30 days, the token will be expired. Okay, so from here for ALS is 9 months. So we have to use the no expiry. Okay, or you can custom it. Okay, so from here you come down, then you click here repo. Okay, you click here repo. So when you click on the repo, you just click on here. It gives you full access to a private repo. It gives you access to comments. It gives you access for deployment, public repo, access, reads, and security. So you come down, then you generate a token. Okay, it will take you to a list of tokens that you have created. Okay, so the current token is this one. Okay, this is the current token. So you check when you left this place, your token is gone. So this is what the basic token. So when you save it, then you have to make sure you go and save it at a place that when they ask, you'll be able to get it back for them. I hope this makes gives you a clear understanding of how the token is created. So let me
Yeah,
delete
so
this
I'm sure
token
with
because
this it is
I
okay.
don't want to use it again. Okay, so is there any question?
Okay, for now, since there is no more question, I think we are okay for now. Everybody
Okay,
is
so
okay and then we are good.
I'll be
Mm.
I have posted the Telegram channel to the chat session. So if anyone wants to join the private channel, you can use the link to join, and most of the basics errors that you have, you can DM us and we post it.
All right. Thank you very
So I
much.
hope in so Peter, if I mention the name right, your question is answered. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel because most of this explanation will come out from here. We get time to explain stuff to you. So let me hand over to my co-host. Co-host.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. David. So at this point, I think we are through. We are through with the agenda for today. So I think we should be wrapping up by now, since you've taken all the questions that we are we are supposed to take, and then there's no more question to answer. I think at this point we'll call it a day. We'll wrap up, and then we'll see you all next time, or next time we have a problem, or we discover something new, and we solve it together over here. So thank you all for joining. Thank you very much. So we are out. Thank you.